This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, another suggestion is made to potentially future-proof the state highway network in central Dunedin. A new school opens in Queenstown. Its opening roll is 93, but it hopes to grow to about 10 times that size. And a heads up for those travelling around central Otago to plan for delays. There are major roadworks in the pipeline. Tēnā koutou katoa, kia ora, I'm Simon Anderson. A Dunedin City Councillor wants to see parts of State Highway 1 buried in central Dunedin with the installation of roading tunnel. Jim O'Malley believes putting some of the main arterial route underground would be a better way of keeping traffic flowing and cheaper than other proposals.
In all of this traffic being moved underground. That's the vision of Dunedin City Councillor Jim O'Malley, Chairman of the DCC's Infrastructure Services Committee.
Well, the idea really is trying to balance the livability objectives of the city and making this area a quiet, livable space, and also achieving the outcomes for flow of traffic.
O'Malley's been working on the idea behind the scenes with a focus group, including experts in the field. He believes constructing a tunnel in central Dunedin could be the best way of keeping the city's traffic flowing. And he's laying the blame for the current state of the state highway firmly on Waka Kotahi, the New Zealand Transport Agency.
My feeling is that the reason we are having to choose between these two designs is because there's actually a systemic underinvestment in Dunedin from central government and Waka Kotahi.
The price tag could be about $400 million, based on the costs of other dig and bury projects. NZTA's board has already endorsed a much more conservative program, which would retain Dunedin's one-way system in an upgraded form at an estimated cost of just over $100 million. But O'Malley insists the status quo is inadequate and wants a future-proofed solution. And he doesn't believe projects like a ring road are the answer.
That's not really it's not a feasible option. So the only option really is it stays here where it is. And I would like us to take a 100-year horizon on this. If we'd started 50 years ago, 1970, when this was started, we'd have 2 or 3 of these built by now. And I would say that's what you do. You're not going to bury the whole thing, but there's going to be certain places where you'll underground it and certain places where it'll be above.
Central government has already pushed back against Councillor O'Malley's suggestion. Transport Minister Michael Wood claims this government's already spent $400 million more than the previous national government spent on southern regional roads.
That answer says it all. 1.1 billion spread over the region, spoken as if it's another country, and clearly by saying that we're not a metro in their eyes because we're part of the regions.
He says the problem is the government only sees cities in terms of population rather than geographic spread, and believes they need to adjust the way they define the city for the future. In Dunedin, the South Today.
The Dunedin City Council's program of replacing the city's 14,000 old streetlights is now complete. The council began installing more energy-efficient LED lights in 2019. The new lamps are also designed to improve road safety and help protect the view of the night sky. The LED lights are cheaper to run and require less maintenance than the older ones. The project cost $15 million, with Waka Kotahi New Zealand Transport Agency subsidising 85% of the cost. The buildings are open, the staff are ready, but as always with tamariki, it was the children who made Te Kura Whakatipu o Kawerau come alive on opening day. After more than a year of preparations, Queenstown's newest primary school opened its doors to 93 foundation pupils, ranging from new entrants through to Year 8.
All present and correct. The 93 pupils of Te Kura Whakatipu o Kawerau are enjoying their new school and are jazzed to be learning in the new facility. Principal Tanya McNamara says teachers and parents were blown away too.
This is so exciting, like just incredible. We've spent a year doing lots of planning and research into opening the best possible school for our learners, and actually have this day arrive now. And just to see the excitement on the children and their parents this morning was very exciting at drop-off time.
There was a reduced fanfare thanks to COVID-19, but she says it was the sight and sounds of children playing which made it real. Deputy Principal Lara Kirk says they've come a long way from planning to opening day this week.
Feels pretty good. It's been an amazing journey for us so far, and yeah, it's pretty awesome to see the young people here enjoying what we've spent a long time thinking about and looking at the plans for. So yeah, it's pretty amazing to be open.
Opening day began with a dawn blessing before parents began arriving with children about 8 a.m. There are 7 teaching staff and 93 pupils on opening day. Stage 1 of the school build has capacity for 450 pupils, and there's room to expand to 950. The principal hopes the school can soon become a hub for the community. In Queenstown, the South Today.
Southlanders have welcomed Rio Tinto's plan to keep the aluminium smelter at Tiwai Point open beyond 2024. However, the government remains unsure about the company's long-term future. The decision to extend the smelter's closing date is seen as a positive by many in Southland. The facility provides more than 2,000 jobs, both directly and indirectly. Invercargill Mayor Sir Tim Shadbolt describes the extension as great news for the region, but admits many locals are a little cynical about the announcement. Energy and Resources Minister Megan Woods says Meridian Energy wasn't in discussions about a new electricity contract for the smelter and ruled out taxpayer subsidies. The government wants to create a more resilient local economy and develop new industries. Motorists travelling through Cromwell are likely to encounter a series of detours over the next 3 months. It will allow roadworks to be carried out as 2 new roundabouts are constructed in the area in a bid to reduce crashes on the busy road.
Drivers wanting to access Cromwell's town centre are being warned to expect detours from after Waitangi weekend running all the way till the end of May. Waka Kotahi NZ Transport Agency is constructing 2 new roundabouts following rising crash numbers on the busy stretch of road. A pedestrian underpass is being constructed at the intersection with Wooing Tree Estate, that project being funded by the Wooing Tree developers. Drivers from Queenstown and Wanaka travelling into Cromwell or towards Alexandra, Dunedin or Christchurch will have to detour via Shortcut Road for the next 3 months. In Cromwell, the South Today.
Whakane is still to come on the South Today. A Gore model aircraft show takes off, and we have some golden reactions to Zoe Sadowski-Sinnott's Winter Olympic success. See you soon.
Hi there, guess who? You recognise the eyes? Oh, okay, it's a haircut. Anyway, it's Lindsay here from Campbell Menswear. Our 3 stores are carrying on as usual. Despite what's happening in the world, we have got some great stock for you. Personally, I've spent 50 years in this business and we have some excellent supplier relationships. We've got great stock, it's hand-picked, it's here, it's on time, and it's ready for the great summer.
Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So, as my favourite cup says, keep calm and carry on.
Hi, we're H Concern Otago.
H Concern Otago hosts a multitude of social activities, including interwalks.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Spark your joy with jazz, the next generation from Honda. The big one. My Mate John's massive annual sale is on now. 20 to 80% off his entire range of rock bottom warehouse price furniture and beds.
And My Mate John.
Every day the team at Gillian supports grieving families at their time of need. From answering your questions to organising a farewell that reflects the wishes of your loved one. We can help. Call Gillian's today. If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Namaino, welcome back. COVID-19 restrictions failed to put a dampener on one annual Southland event, Gore's Model Aircraft Show. Hosted by the local club, organisers shifted the event from the usual Mandeville site to make it easier to restrict spectators.
World War I biplanes swooping through the skies near Gore. These model aircraft, covering flight throughout the ages, were part of the annual Models over Mandeville event on Waitangi weekend. However, this year the Model Aero Club decided to host the event at their Jacobstown airstrip on the outskirts of Gore instead, to assist with COVID restrictions.
Usually it is Models over Mandeville, held at Mandeville, but this year, due to the unknown, we decided that we'd just have it at our own strip here in Gore. Which has already been mowed, prepared, because we use it frequently.
While the event was on a smaller scale than usual, Club President Chris Gifkins says 23 pilots were able to take part, with additional spectators kept to a minimum.
With the red traffic light system that has come about, we can also keep public out of it, so we can keep our numbers quite small.
The event's a popular one with model aircraft operators in the south, and this year even attracted an entrant all the way from Ashburton. In Gore, the south today.
While snow sport fans across the world watched Wanaka local Zoe Sadowski-Sinnott win a gold medal at the Winter Olympics, there were none prouder than her parents. They say Zoe showed promise as a champion snowboarder when she was a teenager after just a few days trying out the sport in America.
A strong group of supporters watched the action on the big screen at the Winter Olympics fan zone in Wanaka as 20-year-old local girl Zoe Sadowski-Sinnott won New Zealand's first ever Winter Olympics gold medal by nailing the slopestyle in Beijing.
Even making it to the Olympics, it means so much for me to be back here, and then to come away with gold after my performance in Pyeongchang in slopestyle. Just means so much to me, and I'm so stoked.
Proudest of the fans were Zoe's parents, Robin and Sean, who've supported her career.
It was pretty nerve-wracking, definitely on the edge of our seats for me.
Sean says Zoe showed promise in snowboarding after just a few days of trying out the sport in the US while on a winter holiday along with her older brother Dylan.
She just learnt to snowboard and he was a little bit ahead of the curve of her. She'd been snowboarding for 2 or 3 days, and there was a comp that Dylan wanted to go in, a Kings and Queens or Knights and Queens or something of the rails, and she decided to go in, and lo and behold, I think there were only 2 female competitors, but she won the event and won a phone, and I think she realised that you could do this and you get paid to do it.
And it's not over yet for Zoe. She's a contender to win another gold in the upcoming Big Air, an Olympic event she won bronze in 4 years ago, although her dad is aiming to control his emotions.
Her ideal outcome would be for her to podium and ideally, I guess, win another gold medal. I'm trying not to go for the two-peat on my own interviews, reaction after the event.
The 2-day Big Air competition is set to start in Beijing next Monday. In Wanaka, the south today.
A passion for music has transformed one property near Ashburton into a musical oasis. Created by Ruth Hall, the Music Farm is a place where people can experience the fun that comes from banging a drum, strumming a bass or tinkling on a xylophone.
Absolutely stunning.
Former dairy farmer Ruth Hall has developed this musical farm just west of Ashburton. It's a project that's grown gradually out of her running a bed and breakfast business in recent years.
I wanted something a bit different, and I didn't know I was going to end up with this musical wonderland. It's a little paradise, it's my passion, it's my soul, my heart has gone into it. And I'm just ready now for sharing it with people.
Called At Violinos, she's set up a musical garden and sheds featuring everything from this double bass made out of sheet metal to lots of percussion-based instruments for visitors to explore the world of pitch and tone, such as trying out different strikers on these tubular bells.
So you can experiment with these. And then you take the metal part. And then you've got the wood, you've got the plastic, and then you've got the felt, which is nicest.
Also on the grounds is this wedding chapel, featuring an organ created from the parts of two different organs dating back to more than a century ago.
We got the body of this organ and the pipes of another organ, and the body was 1900 and the pipes were 1907, and because they were both by the Positive Organ Company from London, we managed to put the two together, and it took 9 months.
Hall has hosted concerts on her property to raise money for charities such as the Cancer Society, and she's looking forward to COVID restrictions lifting so she can hold more concerts and offer her venue for weddings and special occasions. Near Ashburton, the South Today.
A Southland animal group wants to raise awareness about the importance of having cats desexed. The Edendale branch of Forever Homes says it's cruel for pet owners to avoid the process with their cats, as it can lead to kittens suffering a slow and painful death.
For Pussycat's sake. Little Archie is about 8 months old. It's a miracle he survived. He was found at 8 weeks old, nearer death than life, very malnourished and dehydrated. And while he's a success story, Edendale Forever Homes manager Loana Mesman says he's one of the lucky ones.
Kittens of this age can't fend for themselves in the wild. You know, we get a couple of cold days and they've got no food and they've got no mother, they die, and it's cruel, and they've got a heart and they feel pain.
These kittens were found on a dairy farm with their mother, who was friendly but abandoned. Mesman says people get in contact with them regularly, with all manner of excuses as to why they haven't had their animal desexed, including they couldn't find the cat at the appropriate time or the child was sick.
People just need to be aware that their actions as pet owners, get them desexed. It prevents these unwanted litters being abandoned, dumped on the sides of the roads, and suffering horrible, cruel deaths.
The Gore SPCA closed in 2020, and she admits Gore and Matilda have a growing problem with abandoned cats and kittens, with some of the blame attributed to COVID-19.
Currently the kitten problem is probably more the fact that they're being dumped. It's a lack of desexing in the whole Southland area, probably throughout New Zealand, to be honest.
She says they feel like they're constantly the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff and are banging their heads against the wall because nobody wants to be held accountable. In Gore, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, Memorial Ice Hockey game attracts friends and family in Gore, and we have your late week's weather. Hea koko ake nei.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Living Well Disability Resource Centre, a not-for-profit charitable organisation and your one-stop shop for information and resources to help you retain independence. We offer a wide range of assistive products from jar openers to mobility scooters and provide assessments for Total Mobility, the half-price taxi scheme. Come and see the friendly team. You'll find us on the corner of George and Bath Streets, ground floor of Burns House.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
The big one. My Mate John's massive annual sale is on now. 20 to 80% off his entire range of rock bottom warehouse price furniture and beds. You name it, John's got it in stock and ready to go. No waiting, plus you can pay it off interest free. Shop in store or online with click and collect or contact free delivery. The big one.
Where did you get that furniture from? Stafford Street. And My Mate John.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Hoki mai noa. An ice hockey game played in honour of a young woman who died tragically in Gore 2 years ago looks set to become an annual event. Two teams battled it out on the ice over the weekend for the Nicola Henare Memorial Ice Hockey Cup.
Playing in memory of a former ice hockey teammate, the Gore Grizzlies took to the ice on Sunday against a team called the Bars for a special memorial game in honour of Nicola Henare. The 19-year-old died with her partner Sean Hattrell 2 years ago when the car they were passengers in hit a power pole near Mataura. Nicola's mother Tania Henare organised a game in her daughter's memory last year, and there's hopes it'll be staged as an annual event.
Last year we played an inaugural ice hockey game between her family, who have all at one stage played for New Zealand, Canterbury or Southern region.
This year's memorial game coincided with an ice hockey tournament, allowing other players to help make up numbers.
This year we had a couple of players from Canterbury that were down already playing for a tournament that was being held here over the weekend.
Nicola was well known among ice hockey players, playing for the Gore Grizzlies for about 10 years, and she also represented New Zealand in the game, along with her 3 brothers and other family members. The Bars team, made up of Nicola's relatives and friends, beat the Gore Grizzlies 9-5 to win this beautifully carved Nicola Henare Memorial Ice Hockey Cup.
Thank you to the Gore Club, who Nicola and most of my children have been a part of, for putting together a really good team, and it was a really close game.
Nicola's mother says her daughter loved the sport, and the annual memorial game was a bittersweet opportunity to remember her. In Gore, the South today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. A bold suggestion from Councillor Jim O'Malley, going underground with a tunnel in central Dunedin to future-proof the city's state highway. A new school opens in Queenstown with 93 pupils and ambitions of growing 10 times that size as the resort town expands. And a heads up for those travelling around central Otago to plan for delays, with major roadworks in the pipeline. And now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, we welcome Deputy Editor Craig Page. Kia ora, Craig.
Evening, Simon. Interesting rural story we're leading with tomorrow. Reports some farmers have asked staff not to be tested for COVID-19 because of the impact a positive test would have on the farm operation. Instead, they've said they're saying that if staff suspect they've got COVID, just to stay at home, and so the farm can continue to operate. There's also suggestions farmers are not contact tracing anymore, or contact tracing, because if they go somewhere that's exposed, it's going to shut their business down as well. Fed farmers say they're not surprised by the claims. Yeah, I guess this time of year again with cropping, that it's important that they are out and doing the business while the weather holds. So there are concerns there. The Agriculture Minister, Damien O'Connor, is aware of concerns for farmers. And they're looking at the possibility of maybe a farm acting as a bubble and being able to continue even if there is a case within that farm. So more to happen there. School bags proving the bane of school kids at the moment. New research out. That's from the BEAT study, which has been going for several years now. Said that the weight of bags is causing fatigue and body pain for a lot of pupils. The average bag weight's 5.2 kgs, and kids also tend to carry another bag around 2 kgs, so I guess it is weighing them down. But it's having the impact that kids are less likely to walk to school. Well, that's their excuse anyway, or cycle. They're catching lifts with their parents. So, yeah, interesting study there. More concerned about a dangerous stretch of road at Blackhead Road in Dunedin. Claire Rutter, a local woman, was killed there 12 months ago. And her husband's still concerned, nothing's really been done about it. Slippery section of road that she had her accident on. He believes it needs to be sorted out. DCC said there's been 19 accidents since 2017 there. So it is a concern spot for them, and they are looking at putting some sort of new surface there in the next year. I'd normally finish with sport, but I've been accused of getting a bit predictable, so I've found an even better story. We've got a rogue ram that's causing issues on the Lake Dunstan Cycle and Walking Trail. Reports the ram has been charging, headbutting cyclists there as well.
Bit of sport for them.
Yeah, a bit of concern there. So the track does pass through farmland, so that's an issue, but keep an eye out for a woolly sheep with a long tail.
All right.
Beware.
Thanks, Craig.
Thank you.
And time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with today's southern view, taken of State Highway 1 as vehicles head north. Looking at the situation, we see a period of westerly airflow tomorrow and Friday as fronts arrive from the Southern Ocean, ahead of high pressure and mostly fine weather for the weekend. The top of the island will have to get through the next few days of rain. However, in the northwest tomorrow it's wet and 21 or 22 degrees. Similar in the northeast, just a bit warmer, 22 to 24. And down the Canterbury coast as well, with showers somewhat lighter, 23 degrees in Kaikoura, 25 in the other centres. Looking at the southern towns, moderate northwesterlies carrying cloud across the region on 22 or 23 degrees. Looking in the Central Lakes region, northwesterlies and cloud across central too, though they tend more westerly in Wanaka, Queenstown and Alexandra, and the cloud is higher too, 22 to 25 degrees. Further north, northwesterlies inland, but otherwise fine on 24 degrees, northeasterlies on the coast and some cloud on 23 or 24. In Dunedin, rain tonight with strong northeasterlies and an overnight low of 15 degrees. Early rain tomorrow clears, then mostly fine with sun and cloud and breezy northeasterlies changing to light southwesters, a high of 23 and a low of 14. And it's fine for most of Friday before southwesterlies and rain develop towards evening, a high of 21 and a low of 11 degrees. And in Invercargill, a period of rain tonight with an overnight low of 15. Early showers clear tomorrow with the weather becoming sunny amidst moderate westerly quarter winds, a high of 20 and a low of 13. And it's cloudy with showers on Friday with colder southwesterly winds freshening, a high of 16 and a low of 10 degrees. And that's the news this Wednesday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz, and you can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. Nō reira, kia pai te pō, ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.